Well, good morning everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Maniacal S10 Shop and Garage. I'm Mike. I'm gaining subscribers. Thank you all so very much, and I hope this is educational, informal, and hopefully a shortcut to cut to the chase that I'm going through to figure this stuff out, procedure and project, to help you along when it can be done. So if you haven't already, please do so. Like, subscribe, notification bell, and you're up to speed on what I'm doing. Okay, we're still on the s10 aveo 09 to 11. I've also seen doing the research from 04 to 11. So need to check in a little bit more specifics on your vehicle, whether it will work or not, but I believe so. Now, before further ado, let me get this turned around to show you some information. Okay, now for the transaxle I bought a while back and put in and taken out, as you can see, this didn't come out so great. So far the bear's got me. I believe the bear's going to get me. So on the trans spline count is 34, which is the spline count here, and oh, Scott, sorry about that, I got that backwards. Spline count 34 into the trans. I apologize for that. I got my ends mixed up. For the bearing rods and for the flutes or gear oil channel, for what I've researched and found out, the automatics does not have this. This is solely for the stick shifts, this right here. So this is a 34 count. Here's the, let me get my information back up here, 22 spline count. And a tall tale sign that the axles have been swapped out. All this is because I'm going to put this on the axle. This came off the OEM one. And as you can see, the difference, now that's no longer needed for now. Okay, I don't know what these numbers are for on this. It's irrelevant to me. But as you can see, the clamps, the way they're designed, versus the aftermarket. That's a tall tale sign. Because the boot at each end have the same type of clamp. But for the OEM, these clamps, types of clamps, the bigger ones, would be here, there as you can see. At the other end that I've already destroyed, because they're a one-time use. And I'm beginning to believe that CV joints on the aftermarket ones, or store-bought one, this is a store-bought one, we're going to cut this off. I'm going to video this. I don't believe they're serviceable anymore, because I called the dealership up and the OEM axle replacements are discontinued. They're obsolete. That creates the problem. So we're going to find out what's going on with this one. And for the X amount of slide hammer tool that I have, this didn't work for the short one, nor the one I made right there didn't work at all. Didn't phase it. So I'm going to keep this way just in case. Now here's the OEM axle, which I do plan on reusing so far, hopefully. That's, I'm going to go on the internet. Now, the inner CV joint is the cheapest on the internet. I can't find them in a store or at the dealership. They're gone. They're done. They're not doing them anymore. Internet, they're abundant on the internet. The inner CV joint averages price-wise 34 to 45. It's an average. Now the big story is this one. They call it an outboard for whatever reason. I just call it the outer CV joint. This is the expensive one, and I do mean expensive, but I'm going to go to the expense to do this, to put the other axle back together if I can get it all to line up the way I want it to, and supposed to. Not more of what I want, but what it's going to dictate to me, or us. This one here, I've seen on the internet, from Australia. You've heard me correctly, Australia. Counting shipping and buying the parts, I'm looking at or over $100 just for this joint. So I'm still looking into this, but we're going to cut this off so we can see what's holding this doggone thing on there. So let's get started. Oh yeah, here I am again. I'm not big handing away. So I'm going to try this and leave this on me. Yeah, like everyone wants to see me all the time. I'm going to try to do this without losing my video and the phone. And we're 6 minutes into this. Okay, so far so good. Alright, let's get this started. Out of the way. Out of the way. Now then, let's see. Which is going to be easier to do this. Swing it on around. Like a metric bench top crane. Swing her around. Don't look too bad. Research and development. Give her a couple taps. We don't want this being too doggone loose, if anything. Okay. Now, let's get started. This is going to be a bit of a job. How many cutting wheels I want to go through, I don't know. This time around, I'm just using that cutting wheel. I'm not using my others. I just haven't switched it over. Okay. Let's see what you can find out. Get down where we all can see it. It's getting hot. I just get the grip up. And by the way, I bought a new axle just in case all this does fall apart, the science of it, so we shall see. Okay. Okay. We're going to cut across the top where I cut the spindle off. Down to the other side. I'll take this off. We want to see if this is actually be able to come off without big equipment to press on, press off. If it's serviceable and what's retaining this. So give me a second, I'll be right back for 17 minutes into this. Okay. I want to see if it's just me that I can't get off, don't have the equipment, machinery to do it, or it's just not doable. Okay, give me a second to get my gear off. All right, so far, not a whole lot of anything. And the other side. That's some thick stuff. This is all high carbon steel. But down in here is where we want to get to. And we're really, really close. If you can hear it, that's where that clip's loose. It's supposed to be. So let's take a bit of a closer look here as we go along and see what's going on. Okay, hold on. Time to get the paws, wipe the paws off. All right. Take a little bit closer look at this. I know my big hand's in the way. Now, if this light works, okay. I'll get it turned around where you can see. Not too hot, but then again. Okay. As you can see around the spline, the axle, it goes on and comes off, of course, but we're going to find out why, what kind of a retaining setup this has. We're right at 25 minutes into this. Heavy duty ball bearing. stainless steel gloves. High carbon steel. You can hopefully hear good thing about it is I can still use this axle. All I gotta do is buy the inner CV joint and put it back on, but I gotta make sure it's the same clip setup and spline count. Okay, slow and easy. Let's get this cut off. I'm trying not to cut in the axle. If I cut into it, I'll just use it for something else. I think I've already cut in the axle. Aha! I begin to see now what's going on. Okay, give me a second. All right. Let's get her cleaned up a bit. Okay, let's see. Before I go any further, take another look. Okay, let there be light. From what we can see, there's the outer clip, not an, well, let me rephrase that. There's an inner clip. As you can see, the snap ring right there in a groove, and the gear I cut, well, gear, looks like a gear, the inner race I cut, as you just watched. We're 40 minutes into this. And being an inner clip, and I used that slide hammer I showed you at the beginning of the video, I don't see how you can't reach that to compress it at all. So let me try something here. Okay, moved easier than I thought. Now see, I was digging from this side, what I would call the inner side. There is no clip there. Now if I keep it where I need to, there's no clip there at all. Right there, if I get it to move. Do you see it moving? If you get that clip, to that clip, you can get this apart and service it. But it's on the inside. So what I'm getting at is, let me get what I cut off here. We have to get, I get this just to sort of mimic it. We have to go from this end, which the spindle I cut off, as you saw at the beginning of the video, to get to that clip. This outer race is a cap. There's no way to get to it. So in my opinion on this, it's non-serviceable. Any way you look at it, you can't do it. Neither can I. I don't have the equipment to pop this off. And that slide hammer won't do it. And it should, but it won't. So there you have it. Okay, let me get this back on my tripod. As we can see, once you pop it on, that's it. If I get it off, can't. So I'm not going to buy another CV joint for this. Well, I can. I still get to use it, but I can't get it off to service it. Darn my luck, but that's what the higher up wants to do, is keep it from being serviceable. They've accomplished that, I believe. And now the OEM one, you can service. Go figure. Too many of us guys are taking them apart when need to and service them and put them back on and keep going. They don't want that. They want you to buy the whole assembly and swap it out. It's faster, but it's not as cheap. Be right back. I'm going to get a pair of snap ring pliers. These should do it. Let's see what I can do if I can get lucky enough to get this to do what I want it to do. Because it has to expand to come off. get down the groove, but as far as keeping them there to get this up, that one I don't know. Well, they fit, but apparently this snap ring doesn't expand to come off because now it's got that locked. You see it's not, you don't hear any movement. Now you do. Whoops. Now you don't. Now you do. Now you don't. Now you do. Okay, now we know this. It's a one-time thing. So now we cut to the shortcut, take the shortcut and not service it and swap out an axle. For the aftermarket ones, they're not serviceable. At least by what I can't do. Now with the right equipment, the machinery, just probably pop right off, do your thing, pop it back on, and go with it. I can't do it. I don't have the equipment, the machinery to do it with. So I could buy the outboard or the outer CV joint and have a spare axle, swap it out, PM the other one, and keep right on trucking. So now we know, I know, and I've been wanting to know this for a week now. So now I know. Darn our luck. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing, or repeat it one more thing, just in case I didn't mention it. On your inner CV joint or the stick shifts, these flutes or grooves, basically I'll say a gear oil return or gear oil feed. I'm not sure which way this works because it's internal. Stick shifts only. Automatics don't have this. So don't mistake it and put one in for a stick for an automatic, and the splines shouldn't line up anyway. But that's just to give you an FYI on what's what. Now I'm going to get the parts and see about getting this on the OEM axle and get my car back together. So for now, that's all. This might have been a little entertaining, definitely informational, educational, and informal. So on that note, peace out, stay safe, stay healthy, safety first, and once again, thanks to all my subscribers. I have 107 now. Thank you all so very, very much. And my views are climbing. This has got the quickest of any of the videos I've done on the one prior to this one. So I hope this one does just as good. And I enjoy doing them as I need to do them. And this being toward the end of August, I'm looking at possibly, well, I'm wanting to do a few more and get my car back together, show you that. And, excuse me, August, September, probably pushing into middle of October, depending on the weather. I shut down for the year, and I'll catch back up to you. We all catch each other back in March or April. So I hope y'all have had a safe, great, blessed summer. And please subscribe, notification bell, and you're brought up to speed. Thanks everyone so very much. Maniacal S10 here.